back to the castle, where nobody's innocent, everyone's dramatic, and common sense did not make the guest list. Let's recap the Traitors Season 4. This is kinda unhinged. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another Traitors video, and we are on Season 4, Episode 9. So we begin this episode where the last one left off with Eric finding out that Rob is a traitor and is trying to recruit him to be a traitor along with him. And Eric is completely shocked, but he takes Rob up on his offer. And Rob tells him, well, we've got to go unalive somebody right now. So they go up and they narrow it down to Natalie, Steven, and Dorinda. And they say that Natalie would be a good choice because she's hard to banish, and Steven and Dorinda would be kind of random. So the next morning, as people are coming down for breakfast, everyone is starting to be super suspicious of Johnny because he was so close with Candace. And of course, Candace turned out to be a traitor. And because they're finding out that him and Tara are so close, she is now becoming guilty by association. And Johnny is starting to feel the pressure. He knows that people are suspecting that he's a traitor. So as the last players come down, they realize that it was Dorinda that was unalived. So after breakfast, Tara warns Johnny that his name is being thrown around. And Johnny says in his confessional that him and Tara aren't very good at gameplay because when they were kids, they were in the Olympics. They weren't playing games. And I was like, you know what? That's a flex and a half. So Tara is trying to get some of the heat off of Johnny, and she decides that she's going to tell Kristen that she thinks that Steven's a traitor. And Kristen was not trying to hear that at all. She was like, I think you're a traitor. And Tara's like, what? I'm not a traitor. And Kristen's like, well, I think you are one. So then we get to the mission. And in this mission, the players have to answer questions about themselves that will be answered by the traitors. And they have to try to guess the answer that the traitors will say. But the twist is the traitors will be answering those questions right after they're asked. So the players climb into a box and then the traitors have to sneak out, give their answer, and climb back in their boxes. And for each answer that matches the traitors' answers, they will add $500 to their prize money. So the first question was, who do the traitors think is most useful to them? So Rob and Eric have to be really, really quiet, sneaking out of their boxes to go and give this answer. And they choose Tara because they want to choose answers that will completely throw off the other players. Only two people's answers matched the traitors' answers, so they banked $1,000 in the first round. And then the second question they were asked, who do the traitors think is the most manipulative? And once again, the traitor said Tara, because Rob and Eric decided, well, we'll just give the same answer for every single question. But when the players come out of their boxes to give their answers, almost all of them said Natalie. And of course, this upset Natalie because she's like, how could you guys think I'm the most manipulative? And at this point, I'm starting to feel sorry for Tara because she's like, what the heck? Why do they keep picking me? The third question was, who did the traitors think doesn't deserve a spot in the final? And 5 players picked Mara. But once again, of course, the traitors picked Tara. So the next question is, who do the traitors think would make the best traitor? And the players had caught on and they were like, hey, everybody, let's just choose Tara because that's who they're going to choose. So when they come out to give their answers, everyone said Tara except for Tara and Johnny, which made them look suspicious because they're like, we all agreed to put Tara. So after all was said and done, they were only able to add $5,500 to their prize money, which is the least amount of money they've added on these missions thus far. So the last question that Alan had for the players was, who will make the traitors short list to unalive? And Rob and Eric decide to try to throw them off because they figured that most people would think that at least one traitor would go inside the boxes. So they both decided that they're not going to be on the short list. So they choose Johnny, Tara, Kristen, and Natalie. So Tara and Johnny are really starting to feel the pressure and they're wanting to comfort each other. And they're like, you know what? We came into this game saying that we were going to try to downplay our relationship so that it wouldn't put a target on our backs. But we're best friends in real life and we're just going to be a team like we always are. And whatever happens, happens. So once we make it to the round table, Tara is the first person to talk and she tells them, I can promise you that I'm not a traitor and neither is Johnny. And Mara was like, how can you make that promise? How do you know that he's not a traitor? And she's like, because we've worked together for a long time and we've been best friends for over 12 years. And Mark's like, that's weird. I wouldn't blindly trust anyone. And Johnny kind of backs her up. He's like, look, we're best friends. That's just how it is. And then he shifts the blame to Steven. He says that he saw Candace and Steven having a one-on-one after Candace realized that people were throwing her name around as a traitor. And that makes him think that Steven is a traitor. And Steven defends himself and says that that argument is weak. And Kristen's like, well, I think that Tara's a traitor because I accused her of being a traitor right before the mission, and then I was locked in a box. I don't think that's a coincidence. But Natalie puts the blame back on Steven and says that he was performative at breakfast when he was talking about, I almost packed my bags. I thought I was going home. Then it's time to vote. Johnny and Tara both got 2 votes, but Steven got 5 votes and was banished from the castle. But before he goes, he steps into the circle of truth and he tells everyone that he is a faithful. So after the round table, Kristen confronts Eric about being so quiet at the round table. She's like, why don't you have an opinion? Why don't you have anything to say? And Eric is like dying inside because he's like, man, she's on to me. She's smart. And I feel bad for him because he just became a traitor. He's just trying to get used to it. He was thrown right into it. It's hard. So then we see the traitors meet up to discuss the pros and cons of who they will unalive. And Alan invites the 4 players that were in the boxes to the dungeon. And they have to turn this little jack in the box. And if a traitor pops out, then they're the one who is unalived. And that was it for this episode. You guys let me know what y'all thought about it in the comments down below. And if you want more Traitors content, then go ahead and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.